Not only does spring begin today, just a couple of hours, so does the NCAA's annual basketball championship tournament. Talk all things March Madness. Mike Aresco, commissioner of the well-represented American Athletic Conference, joins us for a preview. Mike, good to see you on the show again.
Thanks, Paul. Nice to see you.
Let's start off with your conference, AAC. I think it's 4 teams you have in there. How do you feel about your chances this year? And how do you feel about Louisville, obviously?
Well, Louisville is our champion, our conference champion at this point. They played well, and they're playing at a really high level right now. Rick Pitino always has his teams ready for the tournament. But we've got some good teams in this tournament, obviously UConn, Cincinnati, and Memphis. And we were obviously hoping for SMU. They didn't make it, but they won their NIT game last night. The league is very strong. We had a strong top 5. We had 5 in the top 25. And so one thing though, Paul, the charm of this tournament and the tension of this tournament is it's one and done. It's single elimination, so anything can happen. You can have one bad night, and so you can't judge a conference, any conference, no matter who it is, by the tournament. But we hope our teams play well, because obviously that's what people pay attention to.
Right. Outside of your conference, other teams in the tournament, obviously, I'm sure you look at them all. Who do you think is the most interesting team? What do you think is going to be the Cinderella this year? Do you have any thoughts on those?
I really don't, and probably being a commissioner, of one conference, I don't want to get into it too much, but people will really obviously watch Wichita State, an undefeated team. And I called Bernadette, McGlade, I communicated with Bernadette McGlade and congratulated her on having 6 Atlantic 10 teams in. I think that's quite an achievement. The Big 12, obviously 7 teams, that's quite an achievement. We thought going in we might have 5, literally half our conference, but 4 is a tremendous achievement for us. We're only a 10-team conference. But I think Wichita State will really bear watching. An undefeated team is sort of magical.
Yeah. Do you think they're getting disrespected?
I don't know.
It's such a weird thing with them, right?
Yeah,
they're getting the respect they deserve?
That term was applied to us too, in the sense of Louisville's seeding and SMU not being in the tournament. Wichita State's in a very, very tough bracket. The committee has a hard job. They do a great job. They're good people. They try to be fair. They really do. It just sometimes things work out a certain way. And I think Wichita State though will. They went to the Final Four last year. You're clearly no fluke. But the tournament's always fun. Cinderellas always emerge. You never know quite where they're going to come from. Right. And then the big guys too often dominate toward the end of the tournament. And being an old network guy, I know that there's a good mix. One
more question. I want to ask you about your conference. A lot of churn there. You're going to lose a couple of these big teams. From a business perspective, you're the commissioner of the league. How do you deal with losing important teams like Louisville?
Yeah, Paul, I'm really glad you asked that question, because we're finally going to be the conference that I think will be for the next several years, maybe the next decade. Realignment seems to be stopping. We like the fact that Tulsa, which is a tournament team this year, is coming into our conference. We also like the fact that Temple will be back very quickly under Fran Dunphy, and SMU is emerging. President Obama put in a good word for SMU yesterday. We're really pleased because the president really knows basketball. So we're delighted about that, but they are going to be really good. Great recruiting, Larry Brown, special happening down there. They will make up for losing Louisville. In addition, we're going to have the 2 Florida teams will emerge. You watch them. We'll still have Cincinnati, Memphis, and UConn. It's going to be a very strong basketball league, Paul, even after Louisville leaves.
All right, Mike, good luck in the tournament to all your teams. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Paul.